Hey guys, TGIM. Listen, today I want to talk to you about stretching. It's something that my wife and I were talking about this morning, was actually archery and how you stretch back things. And in this season, I feel like we're in a time of stretching. Or, I've also become quite the runner over the last several weeks. I've been running as much as I could, pretty much every day. I think I'm on an 8-day run streak, so my calves are killing me. So if anybody has any tips for calf stretching and getting over that part, please let me know in the comments. But I was thinking about this. This is something that's always intrigued me about Genesis. And it's actually found in Genesis 21. And it's the story of Hagar and Ishmael and how they're actually being pushed out. Ishmael was the illegitimate son of Abram. And before Isaac came, there was Ishmael. And so there is some turmoil within the family. If you think your family is going through some things, just read about that. And actually, Abram pushing out the son, the illegitimate son, and there's lots of stuff to go into that. But one of the things I do like about Ishmael, and that the Bible includes about Ishmael, is what we can read about them in chapter 21. And so Abram actually sends out his son. He says, when the water and the skin was gone, Hagar actually goes and puts Ishmael under a bush, and she's just pretty much going to wait for him to die. They're in the desert. Abram had put these supplies on Hagar and sent her off and just said, hey, pretty much that's it. Go find something. You guys are on your way. And so Hagar, not wanting to, she just knows what's coming, right? They're going to die in the desert. And so she puts the water in the skin. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away. Now that little phrase, a bow shot away, has always intrigued me because, we think about terms of measurement. We measure things in inches here in the United States. Some others use meters or centimeters or feet, yards, miles, whatever you think. But it's not that we, measure things. I don't say about a baseball throw away or about a, hop, skip, and a jump, or it's this many jumps. And so saying that she sat down about a bow shot away, that always intrigued me. And what I really like, when we finish this account of Hagar and Ishmael, God actually hears her prayer, hears her cry, and says, an angel comes and says, I've heard the boy crying. Get him up. Here's some water. And then it says, verse 20, God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. And I always loved that piece where it says that in the turmoil, he was a bow shot away. Hagar was waiting for her son to die. But then he was living in the desert and he became an archer. So to me, that always represented that, whatever feelings you have about Ishmael, this always reminded me that God uses our broken pieces. God uses the things that stretch us for us to overcome. I love that it says that we will overcome by the word of the Lord and by the word of our testimony. It's by the word of our testimony, meaning the things that I've overcome, the things that God has brought me through. That's what I'm going through. I just did a video about versus grace and mercy, and you can find it here in the card. But it's talking about the grace of God is the gift. It's the gap filler, is what I referred it to. And it's by the grace of God that we're able to overcome certain things. It's by the grace of God that we have gifts that we shouldn't have, that we have resources that we shouldn't have. And so in this season of stretching, whatever we're going through now in the midst of coronavirus and all that, remember that we're being stretched to overcome something. Whether it be overcoming our own faults, overcoming some things that maybe we struggled with in the past, take this season of stretching and know that the more I stretch, the stronger I'll become. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm getting into running and I'm doing these things, and I found that if I take the time to stretch before I run, instead of just, kind of walking to warm up, if I take the time and really stretch out my muscles, I can run further and easier and faster than if I don't stretch. So take this time of stretching and use it to your advantage. Read that book. take that online e-course. Pray more. Really immerse yourself in one of the books of the Bible. Really get to know it. Like, don't just read it for completion. Read it for transformation. I hope you guys have a good one. I hope that word made sense to you. I pray that during this season of stretching, that you use it to your advantage and that God really does bless everything that you do.